Hello and welcome to this video about the log file archiver for the webMethods suite. So what are we talking about today? As you probably know, the components of the webMethods suite create many log files. Those log files need to be moved to an archive location and eventually be destroyed. There are typically two reasons for this requirement. First, avoid filling up the file system, and second, compliance. Let's now quickly go over the various steps that log file archiver performs for each webMethods component. It is basically a four-step process. First, put all files from past days to a zip file, one zip file per component, and have this zip file in a central location. Second, move all files from past days to a central location with subdirectories per component. Those are exactly the same files that before have been put into a zip file. Step 3. In the central location, delete all the individual files that have reached the short-term retention threshold, which is 30 days. Fourth and last step, delete the zip files in the central location that have reached the long-term retention threshold, which is 10 years. Both values, 30 days for short-term retention and 10 years for long-term retention, are the defaults that you can see here, but if you want, you can also adjust them. And now to the demo. This is basically a three-step process. First, you need to download this project from GitHub, and as usual, I will put a link into the video description. The second step is to perform the installation, and the third and last one is to actually run the log file archiver. Let's get started. This is the URL. And here is my source code directory. And that's it. So this was step 1, the installation. And now we are ready to go to step 2, which is the installation of the log file archiver. To do that, I change into the directory. And here you can see that we have two files for installation. One for Windows systems, the install bat, and install shell for Linux and Unix systems. And since I am on Windows, I will obviously run the batch file. And you can see that the install batch file has done a number of things. Primarily, it tried to find an AND installation, a JVM installation, and it's basically using those that come with the webMethods suite. And this is possible because I have installed the webMethods suite in the default location. If you have installed it in a different location, you would need to provide that location. Let's assume we have webMethods instead of software AG. And with that, you can install into any arbitrary location. And now comes the most interesting part, actually running log file archiver. For this, we need to change into the location where it has been installed. That location is actually a subdirectory of the webMethods installation. So let's first go into the main directory of the webMethods installation. And here you can see a new subdirectory called tools. And that's where we want to go to. And in there, operations and log archiver. That's better. And here you can see that we have the actual ART file with the XML extension and the two shell scripts or batch files for running things. And now comes the big moment to run log file archiver for the first time. Here we go. And that's it. Now I will scroll back and go over the output in a little bit more detail and explain what happened. So let's first scroll up. There's a bit of output, as you can see. And here we are. The first couple of lines actually look rather familiar, like similar to the installation batch file. And it's actually the same logic. So here there is the determination, where is AND located, where is the JVM located, and again, this is being derived from the installation location, and effectively, log file archiver is using the ART installation and the JVM that come with the webMethods installation. Next comes the archiving part. And you can see here this .is dot in the middle, which indicates that we are looking at integration server. And for other components like universal messaging, for instance, you would see here instead of is. And then come all the files that are being archived. And you can see that they have a date timestamp from the past. It's a lot of stuff here. So this is a demo system that's been running for a while, and accordingly there's some files to be archived. Then here, the target directory for the individual files is being created. Here, all the files are being put into a zip file, and then all the files that we see here are moved in, are copied into the zip file, and then they are moved into the freshly created directory for the log files for integration server. A number of lines again. And then you can see here that it tries to do the same for my webMethods server, for the analytic engine from Optimize, for the web services data collector from Optimize. Neither of those are installed, and therefore you can see these messages. And then it tries the same for SPM. And SPM, the directory is there, but it's never run, and therefore no files are found. Same for Command Central. And the same for universal messaging. Also, this is installed but has never run. And therefore, nothing to do really here. Then comes the section delete raw, and that is deleting the actual files that have been moved to the archive location. Since this is the first run, nothing to do here. And then the last step is deleting zip archives. Also nothing to do here, since again, it is the first run. And that's it. Now, as a last step, we will go into the archive location and have a look what we can see there. The archive location is sitting directly under the main software AG/webMethods installation. So let's go there. And here you can see pretty much at the top that we have an archive directory, and that's where we want to go. And here in the logs directory, you can see the result of what we just did. So basically you see 3 directories, each having the name of a component, and those are the components that are actually installed on the system. In contrast, there's only one zip file, and that is for integration server, and the reason is that integration server is the only one of those 3 installed components that has ever run. And therefore SPM and universal messaging didn't produce any log files, nothing to do, and therefore no zip file for them. If we go into integration server, we can see all the files that were in the output from running the archiver, just as they were. And that is the result that we can see here now. And the files in this directory will be deleted once they are 30 days old. And the same would happen for any other component. And going back up one directory, here we have the zip files, and obviously they would grow in number for 10 years, and they would then be deleted accordingly. There's one addition planned, and that is basically to provide a hierarchy of year and month for the zip files, so that this directory doesn't grow that big. If you're interested in such a feature, please put a comment below this video. And that's it for today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss any future videos, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.